Here we go. I hope. Here we go. Oh, no, I wanted to start it from the beginning. Brian Callahan's hanging there. Brian, I messed this up. See, it skip happens
It's all
already.
good, man.
All right, here we go. Let's see what happens now. Here we go. All right, listen to this, everybody. Then we'll get into it. Here we go. Mr. Brian Callahan broke it down. Skip happens.
Tire tracks over where a car used to be. I can replay you every little scene. Couldn't stop her leaving. Now it's got me thinking, is there anything I could have done different? So I broke it down over a bottle of whiskey. Broke it down to a sad old song. Broke it down and it still hadn't hit me. Wondering what the hell went wrong. Even broke it down to a total stranger, and he couldn't even tell me why you're gone. I ain't full of hate or anger, girl, right now I'm just broken down.
And there he is, Brian Callahan. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing well. And of course, that being your latest single that's on country radio as you and I talk here tonight, Broke It Down. And Brian, thanks for taking the time to come out and join us here tonight on Skip Happens. Good to see you, man.
I appreciate you having me, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
That on the radio, you just plain don't sound too bad.
Hey, first of all, where are you? Describe your surroundings a little bit.
Man, I am in my bonus room upstairs.
In a bonus room? You call it a bonus room?
Yeah, well, bonus room, extra room.
The extra room.
Whatever you want to call it. Yeah, okay. Upstairs. So that's where I'm at.
and where are you in Nashville?
I am. Well, I live about 30 minutes north of Nashville, and kind of out in the country a little bit on the edge of town up here, and so, yeah.
You're in a good spot. You don't want to be downtown. You don't want to be near that. I mean, it's fun to go there, but to actually live there, it would be crazy.
I did that for the first 6 months. I moved to town, and I realized quick it wasn't for me. So I had to move north just a little bit out of town.
Do you get down on Broadway at all?
Man, I used to a lot. I think it's one of those things that when you move to town, that's kind of the first thing you do. You go down there. Yeah, and you hit up all the bars, and you know, you may get up on stage, get called up to stage to play some, but you know, I hadn't been down there probably in a year or so, 2 years probably.
I don't blame you. I did the same. We go there quite often for radio stuff, and
right
now I remember when I first started to go many years ago. It's like I go down on Broadway, I'd hit up all the tourist spots, go get a beer at Tootsie's, and head down to go to Jack's Barbecue and those different places. But now it's like, all right, I'll go this way instead. So I go out of town, but it's always a lot of fun. And I'm not saying anything bad about Nashville. It's just it gets crazy. A lot of people go, and if you don't want to be around a lot of people, then there's other places you can go. So
yeah, definitely, man. It's cool, you know.
It is.
And on the west side of Nashville, you know, you got winners and losers, and kind of more of the college kind of thing, you know. So, but Nashville's a cool place.
Yeah. How long have you been there, Brian?
Man, I've been here, I think 10 and a half years, a little over 10 years, right up 10 years. I lose track of it. It goes by so fast. You know, and you know, like they say, it's a 10-year town. So.
Well, dude, you're hitting it now. I mean, you've been putting out stuff, but you've been writing for a little bit. I was reading up on you, and and you've been writing. You've written some actually, some of your songs that you have written have been passed on to like Scotty McCreery and others. Correct?
Oh yeah. I've been blessed to have a few cuts and kind of hanging the game there on the songwriting side. But I think that's, it's kind of how you get your way in the door nowadays, is you kind of, get a few songs cut, write with some other artists and stuff like that.
Being a songwriter though, that's one of the most important jobs. And how long was it before you got your first publishing deal when you hit Nashville? That's what happens. You get a publishing deal. If you're a songwriter, that's what you want to go for.
I was probably here right at 3 years. Right at 3 years. So I got, sometimes some people get a published deal the first year to here. Some people takes 5 or 6 years. There's no no rhyme or reason for it, but right, I believe it was 3 years, and well, I was sure glad to get it too.
No, I bet. Yeah, I bet. What were you doing in those 3 years? Were you like just maybe waiting on tables or playing on a corner? I don't know. You see those people out there.
Yeah, I was playing on the weekends here and there, and when I first moved to town, that's what all I was doing is playing about every weekend. But I was like, man, I gotta stay in town and meet some folks and write, and so I got my first job in town was laying hardwood floors, and I did that for a while and started doing guardrail on the side of the interstates, at night, so I could write during the day, and not getting much sleep, and but that's part of it. That's part of the story.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you've gone from songwriting to actually you're doing your own music. You write most of your own stuff, I would presume.
Correct.
And then now you're putting it out on the radio, and you got some good people behind you. You signed with Reviver, if I'm not mistaken.
I am.
That's cool, dude. That's cool.
So, and Broke It Down is the first single, released a couple weeks ago, and so hopefully it does it. Hopefully it does pretty well for us. I hope.
Yeah, you got some good people behind you. I know that because I talk to them quite often, and they all speak so very highly of you. And they were like, "You got to get Brian on your podcast." And I said, "Well, let's set it up." And here we are. So it's kind of cool. Tell us about Broke It Down.
Broke It Down, I wrote with Larry McCoy and Harrison Kinney, and it's just one of those things, man. It wasn't hard to write that day, it was just kind of like a hangout. Harrison's a great kind of a track guy, and I believe like that's one of my first. I hadn't written with many track guys, mostly just me and some guitar, but it was cool to have that element of it, part of it. And Larry, he's a great guitar player, and he's had tons of hits as a songwriter. I think a couple number ones with Thomas Rhett, and so it was cool. It was just a cool hang. It wasn't like like we had to write it. It just kind of fell out, And I love it on that.
Yeah, how long did it take you?
Man, it was a few hours, maybe.
That's
2 or 3 hours. We were done. Yeah, it's just one of those days. Sometimes it don't always work out that way.
No, but that's good. I've talked to. Yeah, I know it's got to be good when it does. But we've talked to a lot of artists, and they say sometimes those songs that you write within maybe just a couple of hours, they go on to be something. It's the other ones that you dwell on, and it's like, we got to come back tomorrow. I just can't think straight. Those songs kind of. But a song that takes just a couple of hours, and here it is on the radio, and it sounds so good, so good.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I really do.
Absolutely. So, how often do you get to play out now?
We just got back from Cancun. We had a few shows out there.
What?
Yeah. So it was pretty fun, man. Got to play out there, and we had 2 shows and some meet and greets, and so yeah, that was really fun. I'm glad I got to go and do that.
Yeah. Were you worried about all this stuff that's going on, being in Cancun and not knowing?
Man, you would never know it.
No.
Man, them people.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
I know, man. Them people, the happiest people in the world, I believe, man. They just, when we got off the plane, when we got off the plane and we were getting our bags, and the driver came over there, and he's like, we had proof of our COVID test,
Sure.
And he said, if you lose this, he said, you stay in Mexico forever and drink tequila.
Oh, I can't find it. No, I'm just kidding. Nothing wrong with some tequila every once in a while. So that's pretty good. What, talk about your creative process a little bit. When you sit down to write a song, how does all that work for you?
It just depends. I'm a big melody guy.
Okay.
So, I may have an idea, but I have to be able to feel it, to be able to put words to it. I think I've maybe written a handful of songs that I wrote the whole song without a guitar in my hand. And
really?
yes, and I'm just one of those that has to feel it, feel every line. And in some cases it's not like that. Like if you get an up-tempo party song, sometimes it's just one of those you write. But when it comes to a feeling song, I like to have the melody and really feeling it, for me to be able to write.
I think I would have to. I know obviously I don't know much about songwriting. I'm always the guy though that's looking at the names on the on the cover or whatever to find out who wrote what. But
Right.
I would imagine you have to have a guitar in hand.
Yeah,
You
I
just
do.
have to get
Definitely.
that that sound. That
Yeah,
sound.
that's to me. If you don't have, you can have the best lyrics in the world, but if you don't have the right melody, nobody's gonna
Mhm.
listen to it. I don't believe. If they, you know what I mean, they may turn the
Right,
channel.
right.
You know what I mean? You can put the greatest lyrics in the world to a bad melody. I don't believe nobody's gonna listen to it. So
Probably not. Probably not. Especially a radio guy. Just saying.
you're right,
But
right,
no, but you're doing it right. And I was listening to some of the other stuff you have up there on YouTube and some other
right,
sites. And man, I'll tell you, your music's right on, dude. Seriously. And I
I-
know there's a lot of people out there doing what you do. I mean, there's a
right,
ton of people doing what you
right,
do. And
right,
there's some that are really, really, really good. And then
right,
there's some that's like, nah, you may want to reconsider what you're doing. But
right.
it's kind of crazy. But I guess if you don't go to Nashville, you may regret it, in life. It's like, well, at least I gave it a shot. But you're doing
Right,
very well.
man.
Um,
I think you have to hang in there, until they run you off. Get out of here.
yeah, get out of here. Yeah, we don't need you here anymore. No,
I
you know
believe
what?
if you stick, I believe if you stick around long enough and keep your foot in the door, they might give you a
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. So where are you from originally before you moved to Nashville?
chance. I'm from a little town in Georgia, southern Georgia.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I kind of started up until outside of Dublin, Georgia. I kind of grew up all over Lawrence County,
Mhm.
and
The
and
dogs.
yeah, East Dublin and just
Mhm.
all around Lawrence County and a little town called Cabell, Georgia. But
Okay.
anyway, that's it's a rural, you know, rural
Mhm.
town, rural place, and
Mhm.
I'm very proud of where I come from and how I was raised, and
I love
we
it.
didn't have
I
much
love
to do. And either you played ball or you hunted or you pick and sing. That's pretty much
it. And
it.
you do it all.
Yeah, I do. I
You
do.
do? You play ball?
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I
Baseball?
love baseball, love football. I was a pitcher,
Yeah,
played shortstop, and
no kidding.
yeah, man, yeah, sure did.
I'm just saying I do. It's so many. It just we're a big baseball family. This is actually a Major League Baseball, so that's kind of cool. And in Syracuse, we're the AAA affiliate right now of the New York Mets. Up until 2019, we were the AAA affiliate of the Washington Nationals. So we get to know a lot of those guys. We kind of help them out when they're in town, and I
Right,
actually I'm one of the announcers at the ballpark. So it's kind of cool what we
that's
do.
pretty cool.
Yeah, so
Heck
you get
yeah,
to know all these guys. So and
that's really cool, man.
yeah, you do a lot of hunting?
I do. I'm a big bow hunter.
Oh, no kidding. Wow.
Yeah, I like, and man, I just like being in the woods, and man, I can just watch deer or turkeys and not do anything. Just sit there and watch them. I'm that guy too. So, but I love just being in
Mhm.
the outdoors.
I love it.
And
I can tell.
yeah,
Do you do like a lot of camping trips or just to get away from things or
man, I don't do a lot of camping. I wouldn't say, but
okay.
I've slept in my truck a few times going hunting. Stuff like that. So,
I love it.
um, yeah, man, I'm a big outdoors guy, and I just like everything about it.
Mhm.
Peace and quiet.
So you went to college, correct?
Hmm.
All
For
right.
a little
And
while.
yeah, and you were playing sports.
Hmm.
And what made you want to do music professionally?
Uh, man, I kind of knew, I thought I wanted to, play ball for the rest of my life,
Mhm,
and
mhm. You look like a
and
ball player. I'm just saying.
I appreciate it. But I knew kind of early on, I'd say around 15 or 16 years old, that I was going to make one day come to Nashville, and after Keith Whitley's one of my favorite of all time
Uh-huh.
singers. And
Oh yeah.
I remember I got his greatest hits CD one year for Christmas,
Oh
and
wow.
I learned, most of his songs and playing and singing, and I wrote a song. I was probably around 14 or 15 when I wrote my first song,
Holy cow.
and
Okay.
I got a lot of good feedback on it, and I was like, well, maybe I got something, and but I kind of knew early on that. that's what I was going to do. You know, I think I was just buying my time to
Mm-hmm.
you know, to be mature enough to move to Nashville. You
Right,
know?
right,
So,
right.
you know,
What about your siblings? I mean, do you have brothers, sisters? Do they do music at all or anything
my
like that?
sister, my sister sings. She lives
Nice.
just outside of Clearwater, Florida,
Oh, very nice.
and I got two brothers. I don't believe they sing, but one's in the military,
Oh, wow.
one got
Excellent.
married weeks ago. So,
Oh, very cool. Were you in the wedding?
I was at the wedding.
Sometimes it's better that way.
Yeah, man.
Seriously. You love them and everything. I totally get that, but sometimes
Yeah,
that's better.
I'd
Yeah.
rather be at the wedding than be in a wedding.
Yeah, I know exactly. And it's a lot cheaper. And you get to enjoy it. But no, I'm just
Right.
but it's always a good time. So with Brian Callahan, where do you see yourself in about 5 years?
Man, I hope we're on a hopefully one of them headlining tours, and man, we
Yeah.
got some ones under our belt, and if not, we're on somebody, we're second rotations as they say in baseball, on a headline tour, So
Yeah, but if you can get on one of those tours, you get the exposure of how many thousands of people at every venue. I mean,
right.
that's pretty cool. And now, do you know how all that works? How would Reviver? I basically know how it works, but from you as an artist, how does it get to be on one of these tours?
Man, you need to catch some steam at radio, I believe.
Mm,
There's two ways, you can break it digitally or at
mhm.
radio, um, and I've got a pretty decent following far as the Southeast,
Yeah.
but across the United States, you need it to break on radio, and hopefully broke down. I believe
Mhm.
it'll do it for us. I hope. So
Yeah, and I have
it'll
a
take
good
a
feeling about that.
while. They say it's liable to take right out a year. You know what I mean, for a new artist and a new song. The radio
Yeah.
because nobody knows, as far as radio stations knows who I am really.
Mhm.
So we're starting to branch
How
out. And
how long ago did you write Broke It Down? That's a
man,
while ago, right? Last
probably
year?
right at 2 years. I'd
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
year and a half, 2 years, right at 2 years.
Yeah, it goes to show you how long it takes.
Oh
There's
yeah.
a process that it goes through, and
I, and that's the hardest thing because I'm so like, if I get my mind on something, I'm gonna
Mhm.
like do it then and now, and
Right,
sometimes
right.
it's baby steps, and that's the hardest thing I believe is just okay, just wait. It's coming, but
Mhm.
just got to stick with it.
What is the best advice you've ever been given?
Man, don't take yourself, just don't take everything to heart.
Right. You're not the first one that has said that. Yeah, yeah.
Don't take everything to heart because you're going to get. I promise you, if you're moving to town to do this, for a living and chase your dream, you're going to get told a lot of no's, and it's
Mhm.
not necessarily anything to do with you. It's just they may have something they're working on right now. They
Right,
just
right.
there's so many other elements to it that you don't think about.
Now, getting signed with a Reviver is pretty awesome. A lot of people have not made it that far, and they've been in Nashville a lot longer than you. How did you get signed to Reviver? How did that happen?
Well, we put out. I believe it's been kind of a talk. It had been talked for a while
Okay.
between my manager and them, and we went ahead and released the album back in December, and I believe they were kind of digging it, and my manager Brandon Steen was talking to them, and one thing led to another, and so it kind of panned out, I've met with
Oh, I
every other
bet.
now Sony, Curve, Warner, and all of them, and
Mhm.
was came this close. So it was just one of those things that I believe when you're at your end of your rope and you think there's no hope left,
That's when it
uh,
happens.
that's when it happens, man.
Yeah.
And I've been told that, but you don't really know until you experience it yourself.
Yeah. It's all about experiencing all that. I mean, just maybe
Right.
getting knocked around a little bit, so to speak, and getting
Oh yeah,
knocked down
you're
and
gonna get
get back up. Yeah.
knocked.
Yeah, exactly. What about everybody talks about the pandemic.
Right.
And now with everything that's going on, but hopefully we can just keep moving forward and take care of things. But when everything shut down, how did that affect you? Were you able to sit and kind of regroup and do a lot of writing, or I mean, how'd you pay your bills?
I was able to, and I do some stuff on the hunting industry side too,
Nice.
and outdoors. So I got to do a lot of that, a lot more of it. When everything was kind of slow, and we did some live stuff, Facebook live stuff and Instagram, and but it was, it's one of those things that it kind of just, it sucked all the way around.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really did.
No doubt.
It felt like I was never ending,
Yeah. What about how the songwriting during the pandemic? I would imagine did a lot of Zoom writes.
It changed, man. I believe a lot of people liked it, Zoom writes, and I just, for me, it just wasn't for me. I like the energy in a room, being face to face with someone, writing a song, and I did it a handful of times. I wrote a few songs on Zoom, but to me, it's just, I don't know. It's just, I guess, because it was new to me, a little different,
right.
But I like being in a room and writing,
I'll be honest with you. I did not hear one artist say they liked doing the Zoom write. They said exactly what you said. It's talking about the energy in the room, maybe the body language of somebody sitting there with you, and you think it's just that whole atmosphere, and as opposed to what this is good the way we're doing this, but I don't know, we wouldn't be able to be as effective writing a song if that's what we were doing.
Right. And it just takes because if you're doing over Zoom, and I'm at the house, I'm thinking about other million other things around here I need to do or see, what I mean?
I got to make sure I put my clothes away. I got to make sure I do this. No, I totally get it. Oh man. Interesting though. Interesting that, you still made it work. So, and like you said, you're out playing, you're playing around town a little bit. I think I already,
I did some Texas stuff,
right?
A couple weeks ago, and did the Cancun thing, and then we got some radio tour stuff coming up, and then starting like November to January, we do that Honky Tonk Christmas tour. So we're
that's cool.
A bunch of different states. So
so you are going to go out on a radio tour?
Yeah, that's in the works. Talking about it.
Good.
And so hopefully by September, Broke Down's out.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best things you can do is get out there and meet a lot of the programmers, and you get to shake hands and kiss babies, so to speak, and that that just adds to what a great guy you are, and getting your music played. Right. Yeah. So when was the first time you heard your song on the radio, and how did you react?
Man, well, I heard it through an email. No. I actually haven't heard Broke It Down, and I've gotten phone calls that they've heard it on the radio. I haven't even heard it yet, you know what I mean? But I listen, so I listen to a lot of prime country in the truck. So
yeah, no, I got you.
So I hadn't even heard it yet, man.
Absolutely. You say truck, what are you driving?
I have a used car lot out there. I'm just kidding.
No, I love it. The older the truck, the better.
Yeah, I've got an old truck, and I've got an F-250 that I drive around, mostly out of town and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, nice. Yeah, I'm a truck guy myself. So
me too, man. I like old trucks. I wish I had enough money to buy all the old trucks I could.
That's what I said. Sometimes the older are better, and just the whole thought and the history, and it's just to see the old trucks, and we're country at heart. I mean, I've had the Ford F-150, I've had the Dodge Ram, I've had the Silverado, I've been through all those, but not now. I'm driving a Kia, but it's a Telluride, so and it's a really nice vehicle. But I do it's because of the family, but I do miss my truck. I do miss
I like it, but they didn't have no technology in them, just a radio and roll down windows,
Do you got the crank on the window, the crank? Oh, I love it.
Less to tear up, man.
Oh my God. I know, seriously. Do you have a CD player or a cassette player?
Well, in the new, I got my F-250 is new.
Okay. Newer.
So But in the old trucks, I was just saying I like the old stuff with no Bluetooth, no nothing,
Yeah.
just a radio, AC, and a roll down window.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. I love it, man. I love it. Who would you like if you could collaborate with anybody? Who would that be, male or female?
Oh man, I'm gonna go. Man, that's a hard one. I'm a big. I like Reba. Oh,
I read
Reba,
that.
her. Man, there's Patty Loveless,
Oh my God.
older singer. Alan Jackson, Travis
Oh my
Tritt,
gosh. I could see you doing that. It's your
Tracy
style,
Lawrence.
dude. Yeah, oh yeah. Tracy, great guy. I've met Tracy many times and just a super great guy. Super great guy.
Yeah, man.
And I was reading some of your bio that you were a fan of Reba. So I had the feeling you were going to say that.
Yeah.
Dude.
And I loved her old stuff too.
Oh my God. So did I. Yep.
Yeah,
I was always a big fan of Reba McEntire. Always will be. And I think the last time we were in town for the country radio seminar, but it had to be 2 years ago now, she came out on stage, the Ryman at lunch. And I just said, oh my God, it's Reba. I was like a little kid. Seriously, it's like the best thing. And I was like that the first time. I mean, many years ago, she was doing a show at our New York State Fair.
Right.
And she was at our grandstand, and the radio station went and got me a meet and greet, backstage meet and greet. And coolest thing going. But when I got back there, I didn't know what to say, didn't know how to act. And I usually don't get starstruck. I was just like, didn't know. I felt like a fool when I walked out of there because I probably said something really stupid. So,
oh yeah, I've been there.
Yeah. Talking about that, who would that be for you besides Reba? Did you ever get backstage and really go, oh my God, that's so and so, and not really know what to say or how to act?
Yeah, that's happened to me before. A few years ago, Merle Haggard, I believe if it wasn't, it was one of his last. Merle Haggard got to play, at the Ryman, and I got backstage, and Jewel was there, Ty Murray, the bull rider. That's when they were, together, and I got to see John Anderson, and I got to see. I never talked to him, but he walked literally like a foot from me with his entourage, but around, just walked right past me, So I thought that was pretty cool. I got to see him in slow motion.
Dude, so, how cool. How cool.
Pretty awesome.
Even though now you're working your way up there, I mean, just to know that, how you feel towards those artists, and now some, people looking up to you will feel that way towards you. So that's a listen, it's going in the right direction. No, I know. How cool is that? I
know, man. And it's kind of one of those surreal moments. Like you kind of feel like you're there, but you kind of feel like you don't, you're not, and like, man, people back home ain't gonna believe me when I tell them this, like I got, John Anderson sitting here talking to me. Merle Haggard walks right by in front of me, and I got Jewel, there.
Damn.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. What's your favorite beverage, a choice?
Beer wise?
Yeah, you drink beer?
I do, the Blue Moon, not as much as I used to.
No, Blue Moon's good.
I'm a sweet tea guy, man.
Okay.
Sweet tea or water,
What's your favorite food? What do you like to eat?
Oh man, I don't need to eat it, but I love to eat it. It's meat and three, just a mom and pop meat and three.
Dude, nothing better, right? Nothing better. I love it.
I love it too.
Yeah, I love it. Would you prefer to eat before you go on stage or when you get off?
After I get off.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you just feel kind of just, it kind of kills your energy a little bit, I eat around 2:00, and then if you go on or 3:00, depends on what time you're going on, and then not eat until after you're done.
Right. What about anxiety? Do you ever have one of those issues? Or I know there's times we go on stage and we do the presents for different artists, this and that, and every once in a while I get a little anxious, get a little anxiety going. But how do you handle that as an artist?
I don't like. I've had it before, but I'm just kind of one of those. if I mess up, I mess up. I mean, what else ever going to do? You know, I try not to forget the lyrics, because the worst thing you want to do is get on stage and I have to, you know, forget the lyrics to your own song. So,
well, it happens to everybody. So,
yeah, I think what it is, you get caught up in the moment and you're watching, you know, the crowd. It's not you forget the lyrics, you forget where you are in the song.
yeah, totally. And it's the same thing when we kind of have, you know, I know what I want to say and I think about it, and then I go out and I get caught up in everything else, and it's like, oh, what was I going to say? Shit,
right?
No, don't remember, but it happens. How many? I see the guitar in the background, but how many guitars do you have?
I have 4.
4.
Yeah.
And do you have a name? Do you have a name for each one of them, or is it just guitar?
No, I really don't. This is a J45 custom.
Nice.
Gibson, and then I have a J185, and then I have a little Gibson I ride on, little LOO small body Gibson, and then I have a Martin 000. It's an Eric Clapton edition.
Oh, very
1990. Man, and it don't leave the house. It stays in.
Yeah, I don't blame you there. I don't blame you there. That's cool. Yeah. That is really cool. What do you listen? Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying I love all types of guitars, and I'm a guitar fanatic, especially if one sounds good.
I love it. Which one sounds the best right now?
Man, I wouldn't. That's hard because it's different scenario. With a full band, I like the custom J45 because it's got a heavy bass to it.
All right.
If I'm doing a songwriting kind of thing, I like the J185, you know. So yeah.
Very, very cool. What do you listen to anything else besides country? Do you like maybe throw in some rock or maybe some hip hop today?
As long as it's old, you know, I like old stuff, man. All back to like the Allman Brothers, Leonard Skinner, you know, and Otis Redding, all the old stuff.
Really,
and I grew up listening to, and
see, that stuff's so cool, so cool.
Yeah, and I like some of the new stuff too. But I don't know. I just kind of, I just like the old stuff, old soul, I guess.
You don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but when you hear something like Nelly with Florida Georgia Line, how do you feel about that?
Man, I think everything has its place and time, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, it does. Cool. It does.
I think it's cool to do it a couple times, you know, but I think it's terrible to beat it in the ground like a dead horse, you know. So
gotcha.
I think some of this stuff is out there nowadays. It just regurgitated, man. It's just like, just turn it off. You can't. Everything sounds the same, you know.
Right. And we're hearing a lot of duets now. Where you know, you would just get you got the Jason Aldean and the Carrie Underwood that just came out here a few weeks ago. Right. Now, I never thought they'd be doing a duet together, but that sounds excellent. That's a great song.
For the first time, man, it's really good.
Yeah,
and I'm a Aldean fan too, man. I just, you know, I like his stuff, and there's a lot of new artists I like. You know, Morgan Wallen, Aldean. I like Hardy, you know, and
Hardy's awesome.
Hardy. You know. Yeah. So him and I wrote that John Boat song we have out, you know.
Oh yeah, I saw it on the I'll have to I'm gonna have to give that another listen. But yeah, definitely good stuff.
And there's a bunch of new artists I like. I like Riley Green, you know, Cody Johnson. Those guys.
You like that Texas, they call it Texas country. They have their own music chart, they've got their own you know, their own everything, and they call it Texas country. So you talk about Riley Green or Cody Johnson. Yeah. What about Cody Jinks?
I do, man. I love Cody Jinks. I think he's a real deal, you know. Very cool. I mean, I've got him on my playlist, you know. I listen to all his stuff, you know. So
do you go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, do you keep track of your stats online with Spotify and all that? Or do you just let it go?
I do in a blue moon, you know. I'll look at it, but I'm not one of those people who keeps up with, you know, if whatever's going to be is going to be. So me staring at it ain't going to help it out. You know? So
I know you do have a point.
It's
going to be what it is.
It's going to, you know, like I said, like there's two ways to do it nowadays. You break it at radio, you break it on streams, and Broke It Down is on a couple good playlists, big playlists. So, awesome. But it's going to have to catch some steam at radio, and I believe it will.
Yeah, has it hit the highway yet? Serious?
That I do not know, and I don't think so. I think that was I believe that's in the works, though.
Yeah, it could be a highway find. You know what they call it. So that's kind of cool. And I got to, as a pro, yeah, exactly. Because as a programmer, I mean, I listen to everything, but I listen to the highway quite often in my vehicle just to hear some of the new artists that we may not hear on, otherwise. So and taking it back a while ago, that's before Cole Swindell he was just coming off from selling merchandise with Luke Bryan, but I heard Chillin' It, and I'm going, who is this guy? All right. And then next thing you know, we started playing it, and it just started going up the chart.
Right.
Now it's history, but so definitely good stuff. Definitely.
Yeah, they let me Cole and them let me sleep on their couch for a while. And, I had nowhere to sleep. So
dude. See that there you go. That's the life and times of an artist. When you hit Nashville, you never know where you're going to be, what you're going to do. I mean, a lot of guys like yourself, I mean, trying to make an impression, trying to get themselves noticed, sleeping in the backseat of their car. I mean, Jimmy Allen sleeping outside a gym in a car. He'd go in and take a shower in the gym, work out, and then that's when he'd take a shower and stuff and go about his day. But he was sleeping in the car. So
I tell you, man, the worst time I remember it was snowing. It was freezing cold, and I was literally like broke. You broke when you're digging in your truck looking for change. Yeah. And I remember it hit me. I'm like, dang. This sucks. I don't know if I want to do this anymore. you know what I mean? But you're gonna have those times, and looking back on it, it makes it, even better.
Now look at you, brother. You got a song on the radio, and it's gaining popularity. You're making it work. Yeah, they say, as you said in the beginning, a 10-year town.
I know it.
And there's some truth to that, I guess. So
it is. Cool. I believe you got to pay your dues and hang in there, and the ones who stay strong is the ones who make it. And you got to get break. You can't do it by yourself. You got to have help along the way, and I've had a ton of it. And you just gotta have those people that believe in you. When you get down on yourself. So.
And who do you go to when you're having one of those tough days?
Man, it used to be I'd call my buddy Alan back home, or my mama, and now it's my wife, So
I was gonna ask. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
How long have you been married?
Man, we've been married 8 years.
I was gonna say you better answer that, because she could be watching this.
Early August was 8 years, man.
Oh. Well, happy anniversary. That's cool. Cool stuff,
7 or 8. I'm close.
She's going to pop in any minute. You don't know how long you've been married.
It feels like 8 years. We haven't.
And that's nothing at all. That's cool. Do you have any kids?
I have a little girl.
Oh, God bless you. Yeah.
Yeah, she's 6. Just turned 6.
Oh, how awesome. Well, that's really awesome. And what does she think of Daddy being a musician? Does she get a chance to go out and watch you play?
She has. She has. I think she's I don't know, I don't think she thinks that big of a deal right now, She got her own thing going, starting first grade this year, and so yeah, she's wrapped up in that.
That's cool. And if you don't mind me asking, what does your wife do?
She sells real estate.
Oh, very cool. Good.
And that, and she's doing very well, man. That's the thing. That's the thing to be in right now.
There's no doubt about that. I got friends that are doing it here in the Northeast. So that's the thing to be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. If somebody, of course, they watch this, whether they're watching this now or down the road, because it will be on our YouTube page, as well as you get to share the link. But if somebody goes to briancallihan.com, what are they going to find on your website?
We've got the tour dates on there, how to get Broke It Down, and I believe some other songs as well. And my bio is on there, you know, and it's a good way to keep up with everything's going on because they're posting stuff on there all the time.
Yeah, I was going to ask how often it's updated, so that's cool.
Right.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And do you have merch on there at all?
We do not. We're in the process of getting all that.
Okay.
Getting all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always like to say that because
koozies and stuff like that.
Yeah, support the artist. That's why I always like to ask if there's something on there that somebody watches is they can go on.
We had the on there. We took it down because we signed the Radio Reviver, and we maybe one of those things we repackage it, you know, and put it out, you know, later on after it broke down, you know.
Very cool. You know, Brian, thanks for taking some time to chat with us here tonight. It's good to get to know some of the newer artists, and you know, like the song, you're going to hear it here in the Cuse. We're in Syracuse in the Northeast, and hopefully other stations will be jumping on this as well down the road. But
please share it, send it to everybody.
Yeah, definitely do that. Definitely do that. But I mean, this will be the first one radio.
Very first one.
Wow, man. Dude, how exciting is that? Seriously,
I know it. Yep. I try not to make a big deal about it, you know, or think about it. Just whatever's going to be is going to be. But it's cool, you know. It's hard not to get caught up in it sometimes.
I know. And what does your wife think about the song being on the radio? Is she like, oh, he's got a song on the radio now? We got it.
Yeah, I think. Well,
I love it. I love it.
We man, we're all very gracious that, you know, it's there, you know, but I think you get kind of numb to it a little bit after all the bad stuff. Then you got good, and you're like, well, let's don't get ahead of ourselves yet, you know. Right.
Oh, but I know you got the talent, you got the sound. The song is good. I listened to some of the other songs on there as well. They're all very, very good. You got what it takes, dude. You know, I don't know if I need to tell you that. You know that. You know how, you know, just believe in yourself and just keep pushing forward. So that's all. But do want to thank you for joining me here on Skip Happens tonight. And for once, we got through a podcast without Skip happening. So it all worked out well. But I appreciate you coming on. Anytime you want to come on, we'd love to have you back again. And let's see how the song does. I have the feeling it's going to do very well. And then as it climbs to chart, we'll get you back on. You get another single out, we'll get you back on. You're going on tour, we'll get you back on. We want to hear about that. So it's really cool. Yeah, we appreciate you, Brian Callihan, and thank you so much for joining us here tonight on Skip Happens. Stay right there and we sign off here.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you, man.